today's the day that I'm going to release that tension and talk about this, okay? Here's the thing. Everybody poops. Maybe you read that book when you were very small. Maybe this is a truth that you need reminding of, but if it is, I'm here to tell you, everyone does. And if you work in an office for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, for a 40-hour work week, chances are you're gonna poop too. And there's a pretty good chance that over a period of years, it's gonna happen at the office, and that's fine. I'm not here to shame anybody for taking a little poop break at work. I don't mind pooping on the company time, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it's a great thing to do and get paid to do. Here's the thing. I don't know about your office workspace, but I know in my office workspace, the bathrooms are, they're not the greatest bathrooms in the world, but I mean, any public bathroom is going to be a public bathroom. There's going to be situations where there's like random pieces of paper towel just floating around the room. Like, I don't understand where these come from. They're not wet. They're just like little tiny squares of paper towel that just sort of end up in the corners of the room. First of all, let's just cut that out. Whoever's doing that, stop. Because it's just weird and unsettling, okay? We don't need to see that. There's always also going to be just sort of water on the counter, and I don't understand how you don't take those little pieces of paper towel that you're ripping off for whatever strange origami reasons, and just, dab that water off of that countertop after you're done washing your hands. There's always going to be people who miss the garbage cans. Just take the second to pick up your used paper towel and put it into the garbage can, because, like, quite frankly, I don't want to touch it. And neither should the cleaners have to touch it. They have other things to deal with. But here's sort of the main event here, guys. I don't know about the toilets in your workspace, but in my workspace, those things flush like using water is its own revenue stream for the company. I don't know what it is, but these things are like NASA. They just shoot the hell out of there. There's so much water. It's like the goddamn Hoover Dam, okay? These things flush with the force of a gale storm. And I do not get how I'm the one who ends up having to flush the goddamn toilet before I'm using it. Just for the love of God, please. And this is the rule. This is it. Please. Just take a second for the person who's coming after you to make sure that the flushing that you did was sufficient. Because all you got to do is hold it for an extra second, and guess what? All evidence, like save for the fact that the toilet seat will be warm, of you being in that stall will be gone. Ugh, just flush the goddamn toilet. Where were you raised? Ludicrous. Also, here's another thing, and this is completely separate. I know that different offices have different levels where this is a thing, but like in mine, we have a scent-free environment. Here's the thing, folks. Shit stinks. This is not a problem where people don't think that their shit stinks. Shit does stink, and this is a problem where people are concerned about their shit stinking. I don't think anybody in the world, any adult, is going to shame you for being stinky in the bathroom. So get over it. Like, good Lord, just get over it. Deal with the fact that, there's going to be some less than savory smells in the bathroom, and don't, like, end up having a situation where, you are literally killing somebody who has an allergy to scents. Giving them a migraine or an asthma attack. Because that's a really fucking shitty thing to do. So, just to recap here, some bathroom rules, some bathroom etiquette for the office. Watch your garbage, whether it be clean pieces of paper towel in these weird, it's not like a strip, okay? It's not like a full piece. It's like these little squares of the corners of a piece of paper towel that just are always in the corners of the room. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like, maybe I shouldn't be complaining about it. Maybe these are like load-bearing pieces of paper towel. I don't know. Make sure you wipe off the counter if you get some water on it, just because nobody wants to deal with like a wet countertop in a bathroom. It just feels unseemly. Pick up your trash behind you if you miss the garbage can, because, like, let's be real, you're not a good athlete. You work in an office. You're not a basketball star or anything along those lines. Just make sure that the thing, and just flush the toilet. And cope with the fact that the waste that your body produces does not smell like roses. So you don't need to make it smell like roses and make somebody else's day awful. That's it. Those are the rules. Whew. That feels really good, actually, to get off my chest. Feels really, really fantastic. Whew. All right. Here's some more music. When we come back, we'll talk for a moment about Liverpool Football Club, the week that's coming, the weeks that's been. We're into business time, guys. Business end of the season. Said it a few times on this show already. All right, we're going to work backwards from this past Saturday into the first tie, the home tie against Roma. Liverpool 0, Stoke City 0. Here's the frustrating thing about this time of year. It happens, it's a happy problem to have, I guess. But we're into this point where, like, Liverpool needs, I think we need basically one more win at this point to guarantee top 4 placement. And one of our chief rivals for one of those top 4 places, we have yet to play. And it's actually our next Premier League game against Chelsea. And this is like the part of the time of the year where, like, we're into the Champions League semifinal. We have a very, very good shot of going to the final. But we still have to, we got to hedge our bets and actually be sure that we've qualified in the league for next year's championship. Next year's Champions League. Yikes. And just but by the same token, it's the game in Rome that I care about right now. I want to make sure that we win that game, so fielding even a half-strength team against Stoke felt like a scary thing to me. I don't know. I'm scared. Anyhow, this Stoke game was really kind of super frustrating. 0-0 draw. Never the best scoreline. If you're Liverpool Football Club, if you're gunning for top of the league finish, if you're top half of the league, top 4 finish, I guess. If you're gunning for Champions League final, a 0-0 draw against Stoke is a frustrating experience, to say the least. But that's what we got. We also got some really shitty officiating. I feel like okay, here's the thing. Every fan of every team is going to say that the decisions, the big game-changing decisions, always go against their team. It's just something that every team says. And they balance themselves out over the run of the season. Okay, here's a couple of stats for you. Liverpool's attacking line is perhaps the most deadly in the entirety of the Premier League. You could make a strong argument for saying the entirety of Europe. Okay, our front three, the Fab Three of Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, and of course Mohamed Salah. One of the most scintillating front threes that you're ever likely to see, and it's certainly the best. I'm going to say it's the best front three partnership that I have ever seen watching Liverpool. Just simply phenomenal, sensational every single week that they play together. It's a beautiful thing to behold, and it's one of the reasons that I love sports. How is it that this team that gets all of these attacking chances comes up against a team like Stoke, whose defenders are like, I'm not going to say like shit brick houses or anything like that, but like, I mean, they're going to be nasty. They're going to be a little bit dirty. They're going to be a little bit rough. They're Stoke, for crying out loud. How is it that over the course of the season, we have only had, wait for it, three penalties awarded to Liverpool Football Club? This is one of the best attacking trios in the last decade, maybe two, in top flight English football, and only 3 penalty decisions, one at Anfield, one at home, have gone our way. And I mean, that was kind of the story of the game against Stoke, in that, like, I mean, listen, there are some that are marginal. I understand that. Some that are left up to the referee's discretion. I understand that. I get it. Okay. Like, it's kind of the thing with English football, in that there is no video assistant referees. There is no instant replay in this sport. So, like, you know, it is what it is. I understand that. But, like, for the love of God, there was definitely a handball towards the end of the game that should have resulted in a penalty, which would have been slotted away, which would have meant we would have won that game at least 1-0. That's all that it is. It's incredibly frustrating. So we need to pick up some points in our next couple of games. There's only a couple of games left in the Premier League, and we need to pick up some points in order to assure ourselves a top 4 finish. Number 3 is fine. I of course would prefer to finish in the league above Manchester United. I think I mentioned this last week. Manchester City are Premier League champions. I mean, say what you want about them, being like Saudi Oil FC or whatever. And, you know, honestly, like, I don't really particularly love how they got to their position in the footballing world. I don't love the level of commercialism or whatever, but, like, you know, they played some really scintillating football this season, and you can't take that away from them. They won the title fair and square in a lot of ways. So, you know, it is what it is. Liverpool, I would love to see them finish second, but if that doesn't happen, that's fine. If we seal our Champions League qualification with third place finish in the league, I really can't be upset about that. It's a position up from last year, forward momentum. It's all well and good. All right, moving backwards, we're going to talk about the home leg in Champions League semifinals against Roma. Ended 5-2. Honestly, like, Liverpool is like the only team that can make you upset about a 5-2 scoreline. I swear to God. Listen, the team was absolutely scintillating from a position of about, I think it was like on 40 minutes where we scored the first goal. From that moment forward, I mean, we had sort of a period where we had about 3 shots, and Roma had about 3 shots, and then things started to look really good. And Sadio Mane hit the woodwork a couple of times, missed a couple shots, and it kind of looked like Roma was kind of in a position where they're like, okay, we just got to ride this out, and then, you know, it'll eventually end. And then it didn't end. We kept on having a really good period until like the 70th minute. Within like the last 10 minutes, heads kind of got lost. And they were able to score 1 goal from open play. I believe it might have been a Kevin Strootman ball. I can't remember. And then of course we conceded a really kind of dumb handball from a player, James Milner, who should know better